has begun. This is it. This is it. TMS. Wait, what is it? 1619. Okay. Oop, save it. Okay. All right. It's time. It begins in 3. Come on, mouse. What are you doing? There you go, buddy. 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS, gift time.
You took my house.
I'm with the dead body.
He sure looked like Bigfoot.
Jack Dorsey is freaking weird.
Therapy Thursday and more on this episode of The Morning Stream.
Okay, let's call this meeting to order. Aquaman, you had an idea for a marathon name. Let's hear it.
I was thinking we'd call it the Super Friends Whale-a-thon.
Unfortunately, he landed the wrong way. His friend is very sorry.
The Morning Stream. That's not a chicken wing, man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to TMS, the morning stream for December 20th, 2018. Scott Johnson here, Brian Ibbett there. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, Scott Johnson.
It's fresh off the, well, I don't know about fresh. Fresh off the treadmill. Woo!
Oh, very nice.
Woo! That's why I was a little late today, because I was on there late and then got off late and then haven't had a chance to shower or nothing, so I'm sitting here in my own filth. And that's a good time, yeah. Really helps my back, though, surprisingly.
Yeah.
It's all
that's good.
All that blood pumping, just coursing through
Yeah,
your
I wonder
veins.
if there's something to it. If that's if it's just the cardio gets your blood pumping and puts blood in places in your back that it previously wasn't to soothe and relieve.
I don't know. I don't know either.
Seems weird. It seems like running would be worse on your back if your back hurts.
Yeah,
but
that's what I thought before I started doing it. And then I did it, and then I went, "Oh, this is actually okay. What I'm doing right now." And then it got better and better, and it's when my back least hurts. So
that's awesome.
Spend some more time on the ye old treadmill and see how that goes. Anyway, it's good to be here. Good to see everybody. We got a big show for you today, so stick around. It's our last before Christmas show, and
it's our only before Christmas show.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's our last show before Christmas.
Is that the same? It's the same one, right? Last before Christmas, only Christmas. Yeah, it's the same thing, isn't it?
Right, yes.
All
well,
right.
It's our last before Christmas show.
Yeah, which is one of the words I
all
used.
All of our shows, technically every show we've ever done is before this Christmas.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, no, this is the final show that you're going to get from TMS before Christmas. After Christmas, there will be shows again starting next Wednesday, and then you won't get
that will
any.
Be our first after Christmas show.
Our first after Christmas show, and then from now on, we're not going to number them anymore. We're just going to call them our third after Christmas show, fourth after Christmas show.
We'll start using abbreviations like AC. So Wednesday's show will be 1AC.
Yeah, after Christmas.
Right.
Not
right.
What's the electricity
DC?
thing? No, AC.
Oh, AC, DC?
No, AC. What's AC stand for when you're talking electricity?
Oh, alternating current.
Alternating current, direct current. That's right. Mm-hmm. We'll rock you all night long. Well, it's good to have you here, everybody, and let's get into it. So we're going to do a couple things here this morning at the same time, kind of. So I'm going to open up the phone lines for this.
Call now.
And we're going to have a little call now. It's like a little Christmas morning before we get to the news and stuff. You guys get to call in and just tell us, did anything cool happen right as you're getting ready for Christmas? Did you, grandma already at the house and sleeping in the top bunk? Like, what's going on with you? You can ask us anything, say anything you want. The number to call is 801-471-0462. It's also in the chat room. Thank you, Jeannie, for posting that. So we'll accept those this morning, as well as Brian and I doing a bit of a gift exchange.
That's right. Now, before we do the gifts, do you mind if can I do this maple thing, because toast is hot right now?
Yeah, let's get it out of the way. I can't find my maple stuff. I will find it, and we'll try more things.
Sure.
But for now, Brian has it, and I'm really curious what you think of it.
And I'm going to read really quickly the email. Seth Brower sent this to us. Says, Scott and Brian, thanks for the entertainment you provided over the years. I've enjoyed catching your take on the day's events and making sense of some of the stupid that is out there. I thought I'd pitch in and provide you with something that you might enjoy trying for your occasional food tasting. While I've been out in LA for the past 10 plus years, working pretty solidly doing VFX for films and TV, my family is all back east in Massachusetts, where my sister and brother-in-law have developed their hobby into a side business. They have tapped the trees, on their property and make their own maple syrup, a nice side benefit of living out in the more rural western side of the state. Which is funny. My dad and stepmom just moved out there this year, so that area. They added to their inventory a few years back and started making their own maple candy and maple cream. The candy is a really sweet treat that's pure maple syrup in a conveniently bite-sized form, and the cream is a great spread that you can use on just about anything. Please enjoy these, and I hope they hit the spot. Signed, Seth Brower.
Nice.
So, Seth, you rock, dude. Thank you for sending this. So we've got one of my boxes just exploded in the shipping box. It's just all these little maple leaf maple things, so they're fine. They're in the box, so it's not that so bad. The maple cream, the jar of maple cream, also was fine, intact. I made some toast about 10 minutes ago and spread some maple cream on it, and I'm going to try it right now live on the show. I put it in Tupperware so it'd stay hot.
All right.
Because that's what I do.
Yeah. Wait a minute, you put it in Tupperware to keep it warm? That's a great idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could have wrapped it in tin foil or put it in a padded pouch.
No, I like what you did.
I didn't want to get maple cream all over everything else.
No, this is good. This is great.
I even burped the Tupperware.
Ew.
Okay, the toast isn't crunchy anymore.
Oh no, I got a little soaky wetty.
A little soaky. Well, just a little.
Now that I think about it, you put it in the Tupperware. Tupperware's going to let it sweat in there, right?
It is. Basically.
Oh yeah.
Tupperware may have been a bad idea.
Well, it's all right. We got to try these things before we really know. So that stuff's great, I'm guessing. Right?
It is really good. Yeah.
Damn it.
It's very tasty. I don't want to overdo it because Justine's going to weigh me tomorrow.
Oh, you'll get away with one piece of bread. Just go run around the block when you're done. Just run around the block. You'll be fine.
The bread isn't what I'm worried about because this is Sara Lee 45 calorie, Weight Watchers approved bread.
Yeah. By the
1
way,
plate per slice or something.
This is exciting for anybody whose ultimate Christmas gift that they were looking for was Brian masticating on the air. We got it. We got you covered.
That's right. Eating chewy bread.
Yeah.
This is really good.
We got the wrong tags for this show today. It needs to be ASMR section. Let's get in there. Let's make it happen.
know. Yeah, really. Adjust our stuff on Twitch.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do to make maple cream. What you add to it or take away from it.
What do you think's in there? That's an interesting question, actually.
Yeah.
Maple
make it creamy. It is really good though. It's it's creamier than like peanut butter. Like it's smoother. You could probably just spoon it onto your bread, just go drip. But it's really good.
Here you go. Let's see. Some call it maple butter. It's basically spreadable maple syrup. Nothing else is added except a touch of butter to prevent the syrup from boiling over in the pan. And it has a creamy, almost peanut butter-like texture. So it's maybe the way you cook it.
Okay.
How is maple butter made? Maple butter, also known as maple cream or maple spread, is a confection that is made from maple syrup by heating the syrup approximately 10 or 18 degrees Fahrenheit. Since we're here in America, we may as well use our dumb measurements. Above the boiling point of water, cooling it to around 125 degrees Fahrenheit, and stirring it until it reaches that smooth consistency. So it's a cooking process. Interesting. You change
so they just
the molecules.
The same process they use for maple syrup. They just don't do all the stuff to clarify it.
Yeah, and it's a certain high temp, low temp wall, and then when you're done, you've permanently made it a more gooey texture, which is great. I'm super into that. Yeah, metric is our friend. Look, I joke around about everybody's space points in the other parts of the world and stuff. I'm ready to go metric 100%. I already do it for almost all the crap I do on the side. Everything I ever do in Photoshop, Illustrator, anything I do to prep for print ready, all of the card stuff that's shipping now, people are getting their cards now. Every single one of those was done with millimeters, not inches.
Right.
Like,
everything I print on the 3D printer, millimeters, centimeters.
Yeah.
You know why? Much easier to count to 10 and you get multiples of 10 than it is multiples of 12. I mean, all right, you can, get all the way up to 144, and then it starts getting all wonky.
Yeah, we're in. We're already in. Brian and I are already in your world. Mm-hmm. Our floors are metric. That's right. The new floors we put in, metric. Mm-hmm. But my father-in-law, it didn't matter. He would mark them off and go, all right, that's 14 and 16th for 20th inches. And I'm like, oh, really? Are we going to go to do this? I mean, he's old school.
Right,
I can't blame him.
Let's not forget the fact that, you got your 12 inches in a foot, but then we go by 16ths of an inch.
Mm. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Right? We
get 12s and 16s, just everything in 10s. 10s are fine. What? Those little plastic blocks we had in school, 10s.
Yeah, 10s. Everything's better in 10s. I totally agree with that. Let's just stop it and do it. Let's make it a fit. We're there's 2 countries that are still doing this, I think. And we're one of them.
Yeah, who's the one,
I think Britain's still even though they'll use a little bit more than we do, but they're still miles and they're still that.
They still describe people's weight as being stone, right? He weighs 14 stone. Well, whatever.
Yeah,
because all stones weigh the same. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't know why we're so stubborn about it, though. It's just, let's just change it and then just be done.
We're dragging our feet, Scott. Ah!
This is important.
Dragging our feet.
Yeah. Put your hands up.
Feet.
Yeah.
12 inches. Foot. All right. Anyway.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. You really went the extra yard to do that.
Oh.
See what I did? See?
Guys, you continued. Yes. Very good.
See, that's the problem. We think we have to go back and change the longest yard to the longest meter.
That's right. Exactly.
Longest meter and a half or whatever it is. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue. So
no.
What's her name in the angry inch? It'd have to be what's her name in the angry centimeter and a half. Whatever that
Hedwig,
is.
Sure.
I forgot it. Oh yeah, Hedwig. That's his name.
Hedwig.
It would help if I knew the title properly. Anyway, hey, now we're gonna do gifts. It's Christmas time.
Yes. All right.
Turns out Brian and I, unbeknownst to each other, sent each other something sort of cross stream. And I didn't know, actually, the thing I didn't know was from you until you said something. I went, oh, I wonder if that's from Brian, because we just put it under the tree. And so the thing I sent you, same deal.
Yeah.
Did it get here when? Day. Yesterday or something? Or maybe same day? Something like that.
Something like that, yep.
So we're going to open these gifts and see what we think of each other's thoughtfulness. And this could be risky.
We do both think of each other the same way with the $3.99 Amazon gift bag.
Yeah, same bag, same blue, same everything.
We don't buy the thing, have it shipped to us, and then we wrap it ourselves and then send it to each other.
Right. Why would we ever do such a dumb
That'd
thing?
Be silly, exactly.
It'd be silly.
Convenient checkbox on the Amazon thing.
Exactly.
Do you want to do them simultaneously? Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Let's go simultaneously, because there's a risk associated with this that we talked about via text, which is one of us could totally overgift the other. And this could be actually fun to see if that actually happens. And if it does happen, my money's on Brian because he's better at this than I am. So we'll see how this goes. But let's go ahead and tear this up.
All right.
Hold on
I'm going to pull the drawstring.
Ooh, this is like a bad Saturday night at Ibbott's house. That's what that is. Yeah. Where's the thing? Okay.
Saturday night Ibbott pajama party is what that is.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, I should say, by the way, that my card says... these are morning co-hosts, and I thought you might like this Christmas gift. May it adorn your sexy frame for years to come. Yours in toast, Scott. Oh, funny.
Oh.
In toast, which is, I just ate some.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, yours in toast. I mean, I could have said Christ, but you're not really religious. Oh, look at this. You guys. Look at this. Hold on.
I know it's an old-fashioned compact
It's a compact disc. It's the Ballad of Buster Scruggs soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's great.
Really
I don't even think this is streaming anywhere yet.
Oh, it may not be.
I don't know. That's great.
Oh, dude. Oh, this is very cool.
Hold on. Switching cameras. Okay. What did Brian get?
It's... All right. I get open. I'm opening.
Yeah, you got to open it because it's
wrapped in plastic.
Because at first it seems like a thing, but it's a little different than what you think it is.
It's like it looks like Burger Time, but the tag clearly says Marvel.
Yeah. Because I know you're both an old school arcade guy and Marvel guy.
Kicking it old school.
So look at your.
Oh, and it's it's Deadpool playing Burger Time, and it's carrots and hot peppers chasing him.
Yep.
And it's tacos, and that's perfect.
Yeah.
It's tacos instead of burgers.
Yeah.
He's playing Taco Time.
Yeah, it's retro and modern at the same time.
Very cool. I will wear this absolutely proudly.
And I hope I sized it right. I know you like extra large, so that's what I got.
I do.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
It's not just a matter of like it, Scott. It's a it's a damn near requirement.
Yeah. This is great.
Very cool.
And I love this movie. I don't know. I call it a movie. I guess it still is.
It is
I guess it's multiple films, but
Yeah.
please tell me Tim Blake Nelson sings Cool Water on here. He does.
Yes, he does. I think it's the first track.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Man, I'm going to be honest. I've not had a CD in my hands in a while.
I know. Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
Well, I even said, I thought about, I could have just gifted you the download.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to get him the disc because it's got, information and a little booklet and you can always digitize it.
There's it's totally. Except, my PC has a drive on it. Let's see.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Think about the fact that
It's been a while.
computers may not, yeah.
It's been a while since I've had a CD. Battle of Buster Scruggs, music by Carter Burwell. Yeah, I'm very excited about this. It's so funny. I watched Big Lebowski, and then last night I watched the beginning, anyway, of Inside Llewyn Davis. I'm on a Coen Brothers kick right now. And I can't.
I still haven't seen Inside Llewyn Davis.
It's really good. I didn't know that was, what's his name from Star Wars?
Oscar Isaac, right?
Yeah. And that would have been before he had been anybody, right?
Yeah, right.
That was kind of his big start, and it's great so far. I'm not all the way through it. I ran out of time. It was on the treadmill, but.
And I think if I remember correctly, and I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
I think we just saw him in something else, didn't we? Or no, we didn't. Or heard him in something else, but maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
Hold on a second. So he was in Ex Machina. He was in something more recent. What was it?
Yeah, never mind. I'm confusing him with. Oh no. Oh, okay. Yeah, he is in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
He is,
but he plays a character named Interesting Person Number 1, and I thought he was the voice of somebody else, and I'm not going to say any more than that.
By the way, the one voice in that movie is the dude from New Girl, right? I'm not going to say who he plays, but that's okay. It was immediately familiar to me, and it drove me crazy the entire time.
Jake Johnson, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good pick.
He's slowly coming up as one of those go-to guys in raunchy comedies for oh, okay, that is him then.
Who?
All right, then never mind. Icor confirms that is who I thought it was. And it's okay, well, I guess they're just going to say interesting person in IMDb so that they don't give anything away, which I'm glad they do.
Oh,
all right, cool.
So wait, who is he then? I mean, without giving anything away.
He's somebody that you see in the Stinger.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Say no more. That's what I thought. Okay, yeah. Very cool.
Say no more. That's perfect.
Yep. Yes.
All right, now that's why that's familiar to me, that voice. I was like, wait a minute, why do I know that voice? And then I laughed so hard I forgot.
Yeah.
All right, well, the lines are still open. Nobody calling, you bunch of weenies. Nobody. What, y'all afraid? Are you afraid to call today? What's going on?
Are you scared?
Are you scared to call the number, which is 801? Where is it? 801-471-0462. Is that what it is? You don't want to call? Yeah.
While we're waiting for a call, you fools, call us, you fools.
You fool! Oh,
you
wait,
super fools.
Actually, we got one. Hi. Good morning. Who's this?
Hi. Good morning. It's Ian.
Oh, hi, Ian. We can always count on Ian.
How you doing?
Ian's always going to call.
Yes.
I mean, he's literally sci-fi.
I didn't interrupt any further mastication, did I?
Well, we all know I'm a chronic masticator.
Yeah, Brian cannot stop masticating. So what's going on, man? You are literally sci-fi. What's going on in your life? What's happening?
That is true. Not too much. I'm going to be enjoying a Jewish Christmas on Christmas Day, from the looks of it. Getting Chinese food and going to see a movie with my friends.
Oh, that's fantastic. That sounds great. Yeah. So let me ask you: is it always is it a tradition? You always go get Chinese? Like, what do you do?
The funniest thing is that I usually wind up going to a movie, and oftentimes it is Chinese, and it's usually with my non-Jewish friends, because not everybody has places to go to.
Yeah.
And, me being the Jew, I don't have any plans that day anyway. So we get together and we have like a friend Christmas, basically.
Oh, that's awesome.
I might be doing the same thing this year because Tina's family, her out-of-town family, is coming in a couple days after Christmas. And we usually go to... Oh, no, I take that back. We're going up to Brush for Christmas, but usually we do Christmas Eve with Tina and her family. That's the one we pushed out a few days. So Christmas Eve might be our movie night. I don't know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool.
We're doing a similar thing. We're going to... so we have a bunch of Christmas stuff to do in the morning, but at like noon we're seeing... what tickets did we get? Oh, Mary Poppins we're seeing. Now here's why we're doing Mary Poppins. Number one, Bumblebee was sold out, so we couldn't get tickets to that.
Wow.
And I heard, I've already talked to somebody who actually has seen Bumblebee at the premiere, and he could not, he can't say anything public because I don't know, he had some NDA. I don't know why, because his review's up now. But he says it is not only the best of the Transformers movies, but it is far and beyond those, and is a really great movie in its own right, and hopefully is the beginning of a whole new possibility for that franchise, because it's supposed to be awesome. So I'm very excited about that, but we couldn't get that. So then we're like, well, what else everybody wants to see? And Dylan, my daughter's husband, is he goes, you know what I really liked when I was a kid? And we're like, what? And he goes, Mary Poppins. She was the best, and I watched that all the time. I'm like, man, you're a little bit of Mary Poppins nerd, and so that's what decided it. So we're gonna go see Mary Poppins with Brian Ibbott's favorite chin. And it's going to be great. Very excited.
Tina pointed this out to me.
I'm looking forward to seeing that at some point, too. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be the one that I go see that day, but I also hope that The Simpsons makes at least one Sherry Bobbins parody in the next couple of weeks, because that would be perfect.
That would be a great little side thing. Brian, what were you saying about Tina?
Tina's pointed out that Emily Blunt's cleft in her chin, she doesn't have the cleft anymore. And she's thinking that maybe she had it filled in, and I didn't know that was a thing you could do. Like, you just get some drywall mud and like.
Dude, freaking Krasinski's not supposed to allow such things. You're supposed to let her. She's supposed to just age beautifully because she's beautiful, and there's nothing wrong with her chin. There never was anything wrong with it. Brian just has this thing with cleft chins.
One more thing before you guys hang up on me. One sec, because I know we're getting there.
Yeah.
Teresa Ideas. I wanted to get a shout out to her. She was my Tad Santa this year, and she sent me the Blu-ray collection of all the Die Hard movies and a Nakatomi Plaza T-shirt, and it was amazing, and I just wanted to thank her on air.
That is so cool that you got that.
That's super cool.
Why didn't I do that this year? I never do this. Why? What is wrong with me? I never sign up for it. I never get into it. I should get into it. Why don't I do it? Brian, what's wrong with me? Why am I lame?
You should do it. I don't know. You should do it.
Jeez. All right. Well, anyway, thanks, I Am Sci-Fi.
Yeah. It's a good thing. It's a fun thing every single year.
Happy Hanukkah to him, and it's nice to know he's got Christmas Day plans. In this world full of Christians, I like that the Jews have a plan. None of that.
We might be doing. I think we might do Chinese food Saturday night or Christmas Eve, just to be fun, just to do something different.
Some solidarity.
There's so many. If you do a search for Emily Blunt's chin, there are a lot of side-by-side photos saying before and after. So I think
she did it. Really?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. Emily Blunt chin.
Her chin is now more blunt.
Yeah, it's more blunt than ever. All right, let's take a look. Before and after. Oh, there are lots of before and afters.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? It's weird. It's like,
oh, I liked it before.
I think it was,
It was more, I don't know. Now it is
more character.
It is more blunt now. Here, chat, look. See these? So let's see. Let's take a look at, I'm trying to find a really good before and after, because these aren't.
Yeah, the one from, the one with the purple and white before and after seems to be the,
purple and white. Hold on.
Yeah.
I just did an image search.
I just put a link in the chat room.
Oh, let's do that. That's a better idea. Okay, hold on. Why won't it open? There we go. Okay, let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, it does look like it's filled in a little. I don't know.
It could just be, the lighting and stuff too, but
I liked her little chin hole. I don't know, man. She's awesome. I think Krasinski's lucky bastard, and she seems very smart and amazing.
She does. Yes.
I would be
very nice.
Yeah, I like her a lot, and I'm excited to see that. Actually, weirdly, I care about Mary Poppins because it's one of those things that if they get it right, that will be great.
Sure.
Like you've taken this classic and you've brought it forward and whatever. That's not the same. Is Mary Poppins the one with trying to remember? Did that have Dick Van Dyke running around in it?
Yeah, absolutely. He was the chimney. He was the chimney sweep.
So is he not he, but is somebody doing his part? Is there a chimney sweep who's all cockney and whatnot?
Dick Van Dyke appears in Mary Poppins Returns. You see him in the credits.
Yeah.
And Bert, right, was his name, I think?
Was it Bert?
Hello,
Mary Poppins. He had this ridiculous over-the-top accent. Oh, Lin-Manuel Mary Mamanda.
Well, he's playing the sidekick. He lights the sodium lights. I don't think he's a chimney sweep, but he's like a he's the other character.
The other dude. Right. All right.
In kind of the same similar role as Dick Van Dyke, but
all right. Well, there's some curiosity rolling around in my head.
Yeah.
About how they're going to handle that. All right, let's keep moving here. We got some news to do. Thanks for the call, Ian.
Let's do that.
Here's the news bumper singer thing.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive sensational summary of world and local events.
Yeah, sidekick. Anyway, today's news brought to you by
Skim today, airing a little bit earlier at 4 p.m. Mountain Time at frogpants.tv.
We're doing that because normally it's 5. Doing it at 4 because I have a Kim's Side family party to go to that I'm dreading, by the way. I'm dreading it.
Yeah, here we go. And John confirms it. So Lin-Manuel Miranda is playing Jack, a Cockney lamplighter and former apprentice of Bert from the original film. So he does, he's more than just the lamplighting sidekick of Mary Poppins. He is a former apprentice of Dick Van Dyke's character.
Right. I keep forgetting this isn't a remake. It's a freaking sequel.
Yeah, it's a sequel. Yeah.
Okay. That makes perfect
Returns.
sense. All right, that's cool. What if he starts going 1776 and then starts singing the Hamilton theme songs?
I'm not going to miss my shot.
No, I'm not going to miss my shot. All right. Let's get to the news here.
Yes.
Breaking news, St. Louis police are searching for woman's stolen tiny home.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Look under that cushion and over there.
Well, it's just what you think it is. It's one of those little, they take an old container and build like a house out of half of it or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you live in a tiny space and it's like super eco living and all that. That's exactly what this is.
Shed. Yeah.
Yeah, like a tough shed. Look, by the way, I have a great history with Tough Shed because when I was in high school, these Tough Shed commercials would come on late at night.
Sure.
And it would go, Tough Shed is the best way to keep your stuff safe, and look how strong and durable the Tough Shed is. And when I was a
jump
kid,
up and down on the roof, right?
Yeah, and when I was a kid, I swear they were saying tough shit the whole time, not tough shed. So they were just going, Tough Shed! Tough Shed!
That's tough shit money can buy.
I used to laugh and laugh and laugh. My mom's like, what's so funny?
Awesome.
I'm like, you don't want to know, Mom. You don't want to know. Anyway, her home was stolen. Shouldn't be hard to spot the property stolen from St. Louis resident Megan Panu. She's looking for a 12-foot tall, tiny home that was stolen sometime Saturday. St. Louis Post-Dispatch reports Panu spent 2 years and about $20,000 working on the 20-foot cedar home. The house was parked outside Refab, popular spot for home remodeling supplies, when it was taken. She says she has gone through surveillance cameras from nearby businesses to try to spot the thief. She's a recent graduate of Webster University. But I wonder if they study the dictionary for like a whole semester before you can get in there. Who knows? Plan to finish the interior and move in this spring. Some Facebook posts reported seeing the house being pulled by a pickup truck on Interstate 70 west of St. Louis. If you know anything about it, please report it to the St. Louis Police Department.
Man, one big upside of having a tiny home. You can drive it to the home remodeling store.
Yeah. Totally. You don't have to bring it back.
You can see how that's going to look in your house without really leaving the property almost, right?
Totally.
You just step out the door. Oh, yeah, this isn't going to work for me. I just tried it in my house a minute ago.
My son Nicholas wants one of these. He wants to make one of these and live in one.
In a tiny house?
Yeah. I think he says that now.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't think he's that passionate to actually follow through on it, but he acts like he wants to.
You never ended up watching that Life in Pieces show on CBS, did you?
Remind me. Who's in that?
It was Brolin, the elder Brolin,
Not Josh.
James Brolin, and Betsy Brandt from Breaking Bad, Marie.
Oh.
And,
Now I remember something about this. I remember you saying you liked it.
It was really good. Diane Weiss.
Yeah.
It was really good. I think you probably still see the whole thing on the CBS app or something like that. But anyway, they had a couple of the characters living in a tiny house in the backyard of their parents' house.
In one of those kind of things? Like a
Same kind of thing, yeah.
container? Yeah.
Basically where, they have to work out this whole kind of like, moving stuff around so that they dock on command cue and stuff like that. So worth checking out that show, going back and binging the archives.
Also, update on the story. Apparently, they found the house. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where was it found?
I don't know. You guys have an update link? The chat room's informing me.
Icor just posted it. House found.
Oh, there it is. All right, let's take a look here. They found the house. A woman's tiny house was. Wait. Okay, USA Today.
And
you're in
the
terrible.
funniest part is, it was found in House Springs, Missouri, which would be the first place I would have looked. I would have looked anywhere named House Springs.
If you went inside of it and did anything though, like peed on it or did anything
Going
weird.
to the motherland. Oh, who knows?
Let's see. Beginning of
Probably
surreal.
raided it just to see if there was anything of value inside.
What I would do is recommend. Look at this cool little place, chat room. Look at this little house. That's awesome. What I would like to have happen is if I owned this little thing, the first thing I'd do is put a GPS thing in there.
Oh yeah, right.
Because if it's that easy to move around and it's already on wheels, like look, it's got wheels built into it. Like, freaking, you need
it's
to
on
know.
a trailer.
Is it though? Look at it though. Because look how
look
the
to
wheels
the
are.
right, you can see the trailer.
Well, no. I mean, look how the wheels are cut into it.
Oh yeah, right.
I think that's a permanent trailer.
It's a permanent trailer, yes.
Yeah, so that's easy to steal. Do you know what I mean? Like all you
It
take.
is, yeah. I mean, you basically got to make sure you lock the hitch onto a vehicle so that I guess then they steal the vehicle. They steal both your car and your house.
Yeah, totally. Well, all right.
They would
then.
have to decide.
Glitter bomb it too, like that glitter bomb video.
Somebody just posted. J.K. Grammer just posted the Tough Shed commercial outtakes.
Shut up, really?
Which have got to be pretty.
Oh, these have to be special, right?
I would assume so.
Let's hear a little bit.
Okay, back to the present. This ain't your typical commercial. Next time you're out for a leisurely ride, remember that not every shed is a tough shed. Brett Smith's a professional motocross rider. He's been riding his whole life. But this is the first stunt he's ever done for the cameras.
I think it's less outtakes and more like.
Yeah, that was the way they did that. Oh, and then everybody runs over there.
Yeah.
I guess they weren't expecting him to land head first in that thing.
Oh yeah, look at that. They're all like, "Is he okay? Is he okay?"
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this. They're all freaking out. Yeah, he's okay though. It looks like.
He's all right, folks. He's all right.
Yeah. I guess they thought he probably wasn't going to go head first. He was going to just land normal.
Right, land straight down, yeah.
Yeah, here he goes. Watch this. Oh, that's so bad. I think that stayed in the commercial, didn't it?
I remember that being the commercial, yeah. And I think they just said, he's all right, folks, but that's just to show you how a tough shed is stronger than other sheds.
Man, they're just showing it over and over and over, too. All right, this is a dumb day. This is the
there
worst.
We go. Once you get 2 minutes and 15 seconds in, he lands it the right way on that last one. It's like he was prepared for it. They didn't do any practice runs before the head first shot.
So what did you say, 22 minutes and one? Oh, here it is. Okay.
Oh, 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
I found it. Oh, there he goes. You just have to lift up a little bit at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Pull up.
I mean, no offense to these guys, but the best take is the crash head first one. That's the best one. Totally is. Yeah, keep that one. All right.
Watch how your ordinary shed kills a motocross rider.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right, we got another guy in the news. This guy's a weirdo. Hope he has a Merry Christmas. A man has now admitted to having the sex with a dead body at the Great Bar Funeral Home. That's what you want happening there. His name is Kazim Kuraman, pleaded guilty on Wednesday to an offense of sexual penetration of a body. and it's not Florida, so everyone calm down. This is in the UK.
Right.
Anyway, the Central England Cooperative Funeral Care Home in Walsall Road.
Well,
November
Walsall Road is the Florida of the UK, clearly.
Right. Yeah, big old wiener-looking state sticking out in there. A judge adjourned his sentencing by a psychiatric report until January 31st, 2019. That's a year away. But warned the defendant he was facing substantial jail time. It says here the 23-year-old was also admitted burglary to the funeral home, breaking into a building with the intention of stealing, wearing a black hooded top and trousers, and sporting a Palestinian flag tattoo on the left side of his neck. He stood with hands clutched in front of him as the charges were read. The court heard he was briefed. What? The court heard he was briefly sectioned on arrest. I don't know what that means. The court heard he was briefly sectioned on arrest.
Oh, England, can't you say anything normally?
Yeah, it's very odd.
We love your metric, but come on now.
Yeah. Anyway, he got it on with a corpse. So
that's foul.
Yeah, it is foul. I'm trying to think of where you'd have what stage are you in life where you feel like that's the next thing you should do, the thing you should try. Like at what point do you go, oh, it's Wednesday. What am I doing today? I might go to the coffee shop. I think I might get my tires checked. And later, I'm going to do it with a corpse. I'm going to
break into a funeral home and hit on the first corpse I see.
Mm-hmm. She was the... What's the old phrase? The body is weak, but the mind is willing, or whatever it is.
Flesh is willing.
Or something like that.
Jeez.
You could go down a deep hole there. We're not going to, though. We're not going there. I may have already gone there.
Going down a deep hole does seem like you've done two euphemisms for a funeral home. For sex in a funeral home.
Oops. All right, here's a goodie. Man says it was shot at. Man says he was shot at after being mistaken for Bigfoot. You know Bigfoot. You familiar with Bigfoot?
I know. Was he a millennial with one of those big beards? Because I could totally see that happening.
Could be. Man in Helena is claiming to have been shot.
Millennials, we love you. I'm kidding.
Oh yeah, Brian loves you. He wants to have sex with your dead corpses. It says here that he was walking around and he got shot. Lewis and Clark County Sheriffs tell the paper here that the man was target practicing in North Hills when he was forced to take cover after shots were fired in his direction. Once the bullets stopped flying, the man claims he approached the shooter to get an explanation. The shooter said, "I was out hunting Bigfoot. I thought he was Bigfoot." Said, "No, he wasn't Bigfoot." And then the guy said, "You should really be wearing orange." It seems like a non-emotional approach to something that's extremely serious. Let's see. Police say the man called a report in the day after the incident. Couldn't remember who he talked to, and gave the description of a black Ford F-150 that the man had. Police checked the area and found no vehicle. The man did not want to press charges. The police say they haven't heard any other leads in the situation. But here's what I would say. Here's what I'd say to everybody out there with a gun and a truck.
Sure.
Bigfoot, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
There's no such thing. So if you see a humanoid figure moving out in the woods, don't automatically assume it's Bigfoot and shoot it, because back to Exhibit A, Bigfoot doesn't exist.
Right.
You dipshits. And even if he did exist, please err on the side of safety in case that's another human being going about their daily business.
That's right. With Bigfoot, you don't shoot first and ask questions later. You say, "Hey, are you Bigfoot?" and if as he's walking away, he looks behind him.
Yeah, and then keeps walking over the log and is all
walking,
hairy.
Yeah. I'm bummed that this crappy site, Fox Montana, the photos, it's only showing the top photo, the traditional Bigfoot old photo, you know? I really wanted to see what this guy looked like, to see if maybe you could draw the argument that, well, he does kind of look like Bigfoot.
Yeah, he didn't have any pictures.
And he was wearing a fur coat and fur pants.
All they do is just use that old one. That's cheap.
Yeah.
There's a pretty good, sorry everyone who loves Trump, but there's a pretty good comparison video where they have that shaky video of Bigfoot walking away from the 60s. And then they have a exact right next to it, so it's side by side video of Trump walking away from the press or something. It's the same posture.
He's doing the same thing.
And the same posture, same swinging arms, and at some point he turns to look at the camera exactly in sync with the time that the Bigfoot did. It's pretty great.
Bigfoot meet Little Hands.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is right there. J.K. Grammer just posted
Bigfoot and Little Hands. The Adventures of Bigfoot and Little Hands. That's pretty good. Oh, here's the footage.
Okay, that's really funny, actually.
Oh, yeah, this is it.
Yeah. I do like how they make sure they're both in black and white, and they
both turn at the same time. Yeah.
Oh my God,
Isn't that
is
great?
really funny.
The one I saw was they're both the raw color, because the original footage of the 60s one is in color.
I thought it was, yeah, right.
Yeah. So they just sort of adds to it. It's really good. It's really good. All right. Enough of that jibber jab.
Yes.
I don't know if you knew this, but Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey is freaking weird, and I'm going to explain why.
Okay.
Jack Dorsey sent beard shavings. He has a voluptuous beard he's known for.
All right.
Hipster beard. If you haven't seen it, that link will show you a photo of...
That's what I'm going to right now. Oh, he does. Yes, he's got the... he looks like Jesus from The Walking Dead with shorter hair.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, totally. That's a great comparison, actually. It says that Jack Dorsey took some clippings from this beard and sent the shavings to Azealia Banks so she could make an amulet to protect him from ISIS. Apparently,
Is that something else that she does? Like, is she... Oh yeah, I can only wrap Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays because the rest of the week I'm doing I'm making amulets to protect people from ISIS.
Yeah, it's like her little side job takes him to Comic-Cons and stuff. I don't know. But Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey reportedly once sent his beard shavings to Azealia Banks so the rapper could make him this amulet. The bizarre claim was first mentioned on Banks on Twitter in 2016 when she claimed Dorsey sent me his hair in an envelope because I was supposed to make him an amulet. But while her claims largely went unmentioned, they've been referenced in a new piece on Twitter CEO by Vanity Fair. In it, Rick Bilton writes, quote, a source who worked with him told me Dorsey had sent the rapper his beard shavings to make him an amulet that would protect him from evildoers. They failed to mention Banks by name, but Spin has subsequently confirmed Banks was indeed the rapper that he was referring to.
That's crazy.
They now say it was an apparent bid to protect him against ISIS, which actually I could see the Twitter CEO being a target of ISIS. That's legit.
Well, sure.
Because Twitter is a very... It's every propagandist's favorite tool. Like, I get that, but you sending
when
beard
you start
shavings,
walking backwards from that, like you start, okay, yeah, he could definitely be in danger from ISIS. Would an amulet protect him? Let's expand upon that. Would an amulet filled with his beard hair protect him? Would an amulet produced by a rapper filled with his beard hair protect him?
Yeah, and the answer is no. The answer is no. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to do anything. It says here. At the time, Banks says Dorsey promised to promote her mixtape Slay Z in exchange for her promoting his cash transfer app Square and her crafting of a magic object that would protect him from ISIS, which had threatened Dorsey in a video earlier that year. Dorsey never tweeted about the project and presumably never received the amulet.
Oh.
Yeah. Now,
if I were that beard hair and he still didn't even get the amulet.
If I were Jack Dorsey and this was just a laugh, like this was just a goof and they're screwing around.
Yeah.
Come out and say it so everyone doesn't think you're nuts. Like, come out and go, this is a joke. We were just screwing around. I wanted to see what this amulet looked like, so I sent her some of my hair. Story over. Like, that's what you should do.
If this gets confirmed, the board or whoever reports directly to him, seems like they could file a no confidence or no... basically saying our boss be crazy, yo.
Yeah. In the rapper parlance, yes, that's
right,
what they would
exactly.
say. Yeah.
Maybe Azealia Banks could craft that one into a better sentence, but
I like Drenched Wildfire's take. Such a waste of perfectly good beard hair.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do with it otherwise? It's just going to be in your soup. Cut it off.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what people with beards like that do, man. They drag it in their food. That's what they do.
That's right. I bet the guys from ZZ Top never have dragged their beards through their food.
You don't think?
I mean, I imagine it may They might brush against the side of their plate or something.
All it takes is for them to go one of these, like the waiter's behind them, and they go, sir, and they go, yeah, and they just go flip, and they just right into the lobster bisque, dude. Your big old gnarly wet lobster bisque beard.
I would, if I were ZZ Top, I would tuck my beard into the top of my shirt.
Oh, I would too. Like you're about to eat, and you just go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If I'm ever wearing a tie, like you go to a wedding and you gotta wear a tie or whatever, I always tuck it in before I eat.
Do you
and I'll
do
tuck
that?
it right in my shirt.
You open the next set of buttons and just push the tie into
just
it?
stick it in, and then forget I did it. Or sometimes throw it over your shoulder. But the problem with that is if you lean into your food, it'll go bloop.
And then it flops down, and then it's guaranteed to go right into your lobster bisque.
Not good for anybody involved.
Yes.
All right, well, that's all the Twitter news I have for you today, everybody. I mean, look, you got Elon Musk, you got some of the smartest, most successful people in the world are often a little nutty, right? Little something going on there.
Yeah, the dude, Virgin Airlines.
What's his name?
Oh shoot!
Lance
picture the
Henderson, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Pedro Von Gonzalez. I don't know his name.
No way I'll ever be able to pull it up.
Richard Branson.
Thank you, Sidian. Richard Branson's a good example of this. That guy, Kim.com, who changed his name to Kim.com.
Yeah, that guy.
The Pirate Bay.
Sure. They're all nuts, all of them. We are now entering the phase of crazy Silicon Valley types coming of middle age,
right,
and now having to deal with life on a new level, and they're starting to be a little bonkers.
Just one origin story away from being supervillains.
Yeah. Elon Musk is almost there, man.
This level, and then you got Lex Luthor right here, and the only thing that separates them is the and Lex Luthor didn't have any superpowers. He's just smart and bald. Bald was his superpower.
Yeah, he was bald, and then you go from there. You start with the bald.
You just go from there. Right, exactly.
Yeah. All I know is, I don't know if you saw that Elon Musk interview with what's her name from 60 Minutes? I can't think of her name.
Oh no,
he just was just teary through the whole thing. He kept crying at weird stuff. So she'd be like, so Tesla stock, this and that and the other. He'd go, his eyes would get all glossy and start tearing up, and he'd start like trying to work through it. And I'm like, oh man, something's going on there. Like he's the crying company, not the boring company.
Oh, I might have to look for that. Huh.
Yeah, you should go read it. It's weird.
Yeah.
Or watch it, not read it.
It's a pot'll do, kids.
Yeah. Stay away from the Joe Rogan show and pot. Those two things.
The combination is just deadly.
It is. Speaking of deadly combinations, upcoming, Wendy will be here. Therapy Thursday.
Yay.
It's happening. We're doing open phones today, so we need someone to call in with a problem. It could be a mild one, could be a hard one, could be whatever. You don't have to say who you are. Mm-hmm. We're not going to ask for your name. You can just anonymously call in. You can even disguise your voice and go, hello, my name is not Brian Dunaway. I have a weird...
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Let me call Flash Gordon on my Mungo phone.
Still one of the best things he ever did. So that's all coming up next, but we can't come up next until Brian plays a song. Wendy's not playing any songs.
That's right.
Yeah.
Aaron wrote in and said, hey guys, this summer my band, The Replicators, released our first EP starring Brendan Fraser. We are just another, by the way, just to clear it up, the EP is called Starring Brendan Fraser.
Oh.
The EP itself doesn't star Brendan Fraser.
I was going to say, that is very odd. Okay.
It's a great name for an EP. We're just another ska punk band from Seattle. Oh, I don't know about that. Personally, I haven't been in a band that has released anything in a decade. That happens when you go to grad school, get married, start your career, and move across the country. The song we're about to hear is one that I wrote. It has a particular meaning to me. A year ago, something that shaped up to be one of the best things to happen to me and my wife was suddenly rocked from an absolute tragedy. It was beyond our control, so I wrote about it. The song is called Positive View. Again, the album is starring Brendan Fraser. Here are The Replicators.
All right. And now this.
My eyes are closed, my lips are puckered, and I'm standing under the mistletoe.
If that's gas in that can, he's going to be awfully sorry.
Now all I have is a mission. This is the morning stream.
All right, we're back, everybody. Time to get our therapy on
Yay!
with Wendy Ann Dunford. Her middle name is Ann. Did you know that?
Ann, with an E or just A-N-N?
A-N-N. Like Anne of Green Gables. Or no. That would be with an E, wouldn't it?
That one had an E, yeah.
Actually, I have to confirm. I can't remember now. It may just be A-N-N.
That can be our first hard-hitting question that we ask Wendy when she joins us here.
We're really going to get... We're getting serious here, guys.
Gloves come off. No holds barred interview with Wendy.
Yeah, finally we can. The truth can be told.
So it says with an I, weirdly enough.
Yeah, totally with an I. All right. Well, nothing yet. I don't know. She got the memo. Here, I'm gonna
without an E, like Ayn Rand.
Yeah, Ayn Rand. Hold on. I have text. Did she text me? Hold on.
Oh no. Says, I'm not doing your crummy show anymore because you can't spell my middle name for crap.
Let's see. Wendy. Whoops. Hi. You ready for us? All right. We'll see if she... I talked to her last night, so I think everything's good. Johnny...
I guess Stephanie Ray. I said Ayn Rand specifically because it's spelled with a Y and not... Just traditional Anne.
She goes by Ayn Rand, right? Isn't that how you pronounce it?
Is it Ayn? Or I thought it was pronounced Anne. It's not pronounced Anne?
I thought it was Ayn Rand. Let me see. Pronounce Ayn Rand. Okay. We have a video that will tell us.
It's pronounced Fountainhead.
Fountainhead. Here we go. Okay. This voice will come in shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Ayn Rand.
Ayn?
Oh, it is. Okay, it is Ayn. Okay.
Okay. Ayn? I always said Ayn.
And
they're adding an Ayn.
Keep in mind, I mean, that's a very digitized sounding voice.
Mm-hmm. Here's another one. Let's see.
Ayn Rand.
That one
there
says
you go.
Ayn.
Okay.
Ayn Rand.
I don't know why I always said Anne. I always thought it was just an unusual.
I don't know.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
I mean, look, we're not here to judge. Brian can do whatever he wants.
Yanny, Laurel. Everybody's like Green Needle. Morning Storm.
Yeah. We're going to do all that again. Oh, hi. There she is. Hello. Hold on. I got to do a thing here because I paused the show. No, you're fine. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're back and we have Wendy on the line with us. Hello, Wendy.
Hello.
Hello. Merry Christmas. Well, it's not Christmas yet, but it almost is.
Merry almost Christmas.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, you know what? I think that whole Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays thing is made up. I think that was made up just to rile people up. I don't think anyone gives a crap.
Can I tell you, I will vouch for that 100% because all anyone ever says around here is Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday. They mix them. No one gives a freaking crap.
No.
And also... there's a lady wearing a button that said, I celebrate Christmas. And I was so tempted to act like I was from another country and have her explain it to me.
Yeah.
Like do a really bad Swedish accent, be like, I can't even do it. But like explain, what does this mean? Do I need to put all of the holidays I celebrate on a button and walk around the store?
Can I put them all on one button or do I have to get a separate button for every holiday?
Yeah, if I celebrate Halloween sort of secularly, should I note that? Like, what are we doing? And anyway, just correct me up. Like, really?
Yeah.
You will. So clearly, you watch Fox News and you believe the lie. Cool.
I celebrate Christmas and I vote.
Yeah, and I vote. Look,
right. Me too.
This is the funny thing about that whole thing is so it's good to get a little confirmation on it. But I've just always felt like it's just made up. Somebody somewhere went, hey, there's this thing. And everybody went, yeah, there's this thing. Well, there's no thing. I've never had anybody be offended by it. Nobody ever, not once, is offended by me saying Merry Christmas. And I say it all the time. And I have people say Happy Holidays, and it doesn't even matter. Who cares?
No, exactly. Say what you want to say and wish people whatever you want to wish them.
Yeah.
And here's what I love. Like, are we offending you on your sacred holiday because the store you're buying crap from is only saying Happy Holiday? Like, that's what bugs me is you're bothered by stores. But let's just think of this from a marketing perspective. You have multiple holidays.
Yeah.
You have one sign for marketing purposes to say Happy Holidays covers Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. What if you had to write each one out? It's just logical, friends.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
and Boxing Day. Don't forget Boxing Day.
Oh,
Everybody
of course
always
Boxing
blows
Day.
off Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Listen, I love Boxing Day.
It's Wendy's favorite part of the holiday, I think. I think you love that.
Yeah, you just eat. I'm not really sure what else you do on Boxing Day, but you just eat.
So there's a question that's kind of been burning in my mind to ask you, Wendy. Is your middle name spelled with an E?
No.
Is it just ANN?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
why
that
did I
because-
never know that? I didn't know that.
We just talked about it right before you called. And,
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, because you know me, I'm always spouting out personal details about you that
Right, like my middle name. Have you
Yeah.
given out my social security number yet?
not yet. Not yet. I was hoping to get that from
What
you.
was- well, just out of curiosity, what was your mother's maiden name?
Yeah.
And your favorite country and your best friend's dog.
Maybe,
What is
maybe the first pet you ever owned. How about the make and model of your first car?
Yeah. Who was your
So
third grade
Brian,
teacher?
why are you interested in my middle name spelling? What was that about?
Oh, as Scott said, we're about to bring onto the show Wendy Ann Dunford, and I just, as one does when Scott is using Discord, you fill time.
Yeah. You have to fill a little bit of time, so we filled some time, and now you're here.
And is it Anne with an E like the Netflix series, or is it just
Well,
boring?
the way Scott described it is, it's without an E, like Anne of Green Gables.
Yeah, and I went down kind of a hole where I was saying, or somehow Ayn Rand came into this.
Yeah, because I said it's it's spelled like Anne Rand. And
Yeah,
I
Brian,
said,
Brian thought her name was Ayn Rand, but just spelled weird. And then so we went to the internet and it did the spoken versions of these names so that we knew how it was said.
Yeah.
And also, she's kind of crazy, so that's fun.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, she's not around anymore, right? Didn't she die? She died.
Just say Merry Christmas.
I don't want
Merry
to. Yeah,
Christmas.
just Merry Christmas. I don't want to speak ill of the dead, even the weird
Merry
dead.
Christmas.
All right.
Hey,
yeah.
real quick. Wait a minute. Something filling time. What were you saying just before that?
I don't know.
Discord, Ayn Rand, Anne of Green Gables with an E.
Yeah, I'm sure that
Darn
was it. I don't. You don't remember? What was it? It was something good, I'll bet.
It was. It'll come
Happy
back
holidays,
if it was true.
War on Christmas, Starbucks Red Cups. I mean, it could be any of these things.
It could be any of those things.
None of those. Never mind.
All
Sorry.
right. As long as if you're okay, we're okay. All right. Well, Wendy, it's a pleasure, or as Dad would say, a pleasure to have you here. And we're excited to talk to you about people's problems. Now, here's the deal, folks. We've decided to have open phones today. That means you have to call in, and it can be anything. Okay, we'll take any
Don't make
call.
us regret this decision.
Yes, it can be anything. Like what I don't want, and this is the upside of the open phones is at 801-471-0462 is that you guys can air this stuff live when you can have follow-up questions for you. Like it's a really good method to get to the core of whatever issue you might be dealing with, as we have seen in the past. But I also understand that it freaks some people out, right? Mm-hmm. They're not only talking to you personally about a thing instead of through an email, which has a lot of barriers to it, but they're also having to say it out loud in front of a bunch of people, even if you don't tell us your name, even if you disguise your voice. So I get it. I totally get the anxiety of it. And especially if your problem that you're asking about is, I have anxiety talking in front of people on a phone. Like that may even be the whole issue, and yet that's what we're asking you to do. However, there's got to be some of you out there like, my mother-in-law came over and she's staying all week because of Christmas, and she keeps leaving a turd in the toilet. What do I do? Like, it can be that. It can be that. That's fine. It can be whatever you want it to be. So call us now. The number is 801-471-0462. That's 801-471-0462. I will take the very first call that we get. Yeah.
Before it comes, I remember. It came back to me.
Oh, good.
It has to do with my middle name. Okay. So I think on the show I've talked about my grocery store experiences where no matter where I live in the world, people think I work in the grocery store and ask me to get things off high shelves. Okay. So Minnesota is no different, even though as a general rule, people are fairly tall around here. I am still getting stuff off shelves. Mm-hmm. This happens the other day. This woman in an aisle with 10 shoppers.
Keep talking. You're fine.
She just says to the void, does anyone know where the pepperoni sticks are or something? And I watched 9 people turn their carts and run.
Wow.
It was so funny. And I said,
in the middle of the store, just kind of shouting, does anybody know where the pepperoni sticks?
It was hilarious. And I realized oh no, actually I might work here. Because I said, oh ma'am, I know exactly where they are. And so I take her there as if I need to also take her there. Something's wrong with me. So anyway, this happens. I check out. I'm kind of in a rush at this point because, I'm helping people shop and I got to go. So I'm hurrying out. I get to my car and I can't find my key. I can't find well, I go to, open the door and it's one of those lock keyless thingies. And I'm like, oh crap, it's not working. That means where's my purse and my wallet?
Oh.
No. And you know that feeling.
Yeah, I hate that feeling.
So I leave my cart. I run back into the store. I ask the lady, she's like, I didn't see it. I don't think you left it here. I'm like, crap. And as I'm walking out, I hear a guy say, are you Wendy Ann?
Oh, that's nice. It's not
And
the
I
pepperoni
said-
guy, is it? It was the pepperoni guy?
No. It was
Oh.
just a random guy. Found my purse on the ground,
Oh.
read
Oh,
my
wow.
name. And
Wow.
of course, I must be from the South because why would you put my middle name into but whatever.
Yeah.
Wendy Ann, I haven't been called that unless I got in trouble when I was a kid. And so I was thrilled. But I'm going to tell you right now, people, Christmas karma.
Yeah.
Hope the pepperoni lady get your purse back.
Yeah.
There you go. He probably did the Wendy N because if he would have said your full name, oh yeah, that's me, and obviously you can't show ID, but at least if he did that, he could say, what's your last name? And you could say it, and then he'd be able to confirm that that's your
Oh, right. That's a good point.
Yeah, he could definitely confirm from my face and my relief and my recognition of the
I guess
bag.
there is that. There is the photo on your ID that probably
Yeah.
matches.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. I was thinking more he could see my relief because I was like, oh, you are
Yeah, you
an
probably-
angel. And he,
There's no better
I felt
feeling.
good.
Yeah.
Pepperoni lady felt good. He felt good. I felt good. It was just like a big old hug.
Well, pepperoni lady felt good then, but later in the day, she got a little heartburn.
after eating those pepperoni
Yeah,
sticks.
got a little heartburn
It was
after
gassy.
that. All right, we have a caller on the line, and
Awesome.
we're very happy about that. Hi, thanks for waiting.
Hey, not a problem.
Hey, what's your deal today? What can we help you with? We are happy to do it.
Hey, first time, long time. It's Crepitant in the chat room. I got a question for you guys. I live in Alberta, and things are not doing so good up here economically. I'm sure, as you guys in the States know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been I can't say laid off. The company shut down, but I've been working for a year. And I'm fortunate. My wife works a good job, and I have a good family and whatnot. So things are okay. But and maybe it's not just a question for Wendy, but for Scott and Brian as well. I'm finding what do you guys do? How do you motivate yourselves on a daily basis, especially in situations where you're at right now, where I know you have a certain set schedule with your shows and you do the freelancing, but I'm guessing that you have a large amount of freedom to do whatever you want to do. And how do you motivate yourself to start a new project or get up and go do something? I have lots of time on my hands, but there's only so many times you can clean the house. And there's only so many times you can, and I've brought all these great ideas. I play music. I think I have a fantastic idea for a podcast. It's just, how do you guys sort of motivate yourself to get up and actually off your butt and start doing these things to get the ball rolling?
I am really glad this is coming up because we are entering those winter months where I think even genetically a little bit, I get super cranky and kind of down and slow and tired.
Yeah.
And
the doldrums.
Yeah, and it's the sun goes down way too early, and it's cold outside. That stupid song in my head now, baby, it's cold outside. Anyway, there's all that, but then there's also this other aspect to it, which I think Brian and I could speak to, which is we have created a ton of work for ourselves, and there's always something to be done. But there's no boss hanging over us. There's nobody in an office up the hall going, all right, I need those reports by noon. And so sometimes for me, it's very tempting to go, well, if I put this off until Friday instead of doing it Thursday, that's only going to hurt me, big deal. But then I go to do it Friday, and it does hurt me. And it's not good for me. Like, it's an unhealthy thing for me to procrastinate. So I try really hard not to do that. But for whatever reason, winter, I get that seasonal kind of sad thing going. I always have. Dad had it. I'm not saying that's why I do, but my dad sort of struggled with it, and he had all kinds of weird ways of dealing with it. He had a funky light he tried to use. He tried self-hypnosis. Remember that whole phase, Wendy? That was interesting.
Yeah.
So
he would juice wheatgrass freaking constantly.
Oh, it was constantly wheatgrass in it. Just thought he was sure that was going to solve everything. Oh yeah. And so it was actually good for me to see all that because now I know none of it worked and I don't have to bother with it. So I can just focus on actual stuff. So actually, I think that would be good to get from Wendy here is what kinds of practical things can people do when they're either between jobs or stuff's on a downturn and they're struggling to find the motivation to get to the next thing, or even just people who are been doing a thing forever, they're having a little burnout. Like, this is a good time of year to hit some of this stuff, I think, because you're about to have, New Year's resolutions, and 2019 is going to be the year I do this and that, and sometimes that can be detrimental because you overcommit and you underdeliver and blah blah blah. So where do you want to start?
Yeah, thanks, friend from Canada. I live right by Canada now, so we're friends. Yeah, it's this is a great question, and there's a couple things just for people, for maybe you specifically, and then other people to hear. It's not uncommon when you're without work, and more time goes by that this definitely gets harder and harder. At first, it's almost like a little vacation. Oh, nice! I can do my projects and things I want to do, and then sort of it gets a little more difficult and maybe more depressing. And so to be careful with that. And a big part of that is sort of checking into how you were sort of taught to what it meant to be a person and a man. And we do this, we provide, some of the messaging you have. And I'm going to assume in a northern climate, we tend to have a whole lot of work ethic built in, and you're not supposed to complain, and there's a bunch of that. So be careful kind of where your thoughts are going, and you talk to your spouse about it, or a friend, or someone else in the same situation. There's meetup groups that can be helpful for this kind of thing. So you're just not alone doing it, because that can be pretty scary. But take the very specific thing you're asking, like, hey, I've got these projects and I've got all this stuff I could do and want to do, and things I could get off the ground. I have the time to do it. What's my deal? So winter may be a factor, but there's also this, how you start your morning, that is a really big deal. And Scott and Brian, you could talk about your mornings, but the one thing I would say right off the bat, and this sort of is everyone, is when you look at your phone before you lift your head off the pillow and you get dopamine, you're priming your reward circuitry in your brain for more dopamine. You're wiring it for sort of the reward system kind of on a different wavelength than you would otherwise. So when people struggle with how do I get my day going and what am I doing? And these are people who have jobs as well, right? There is this behavior I think most of us sort of fall into now, where we wake up, first thing we see is some horrible news that makes us crazy, or it's some funny thing on Twitter, but we are getting a bunch of dopamine right off the bat. We haven't even peed yet, maybe, or eaten breakfast, or and so one thing to just test, and this is kind of what I would suggest, is maybe change up a couple variables. One being how you run your morning. So start with 1 week where you wake up and you don't allow yourself to look at your phone till 10 a.m. And then the time before you get to touch your phone is you feel it with a bunch of the things that you would like to do. Because when we prime our reward centers for something that is totally irrelevant to the work we want to accomplish that day, it's just entertainment of some form, or fun or whatever, is that we don't have the dopamine to do the motivated thing that we need to do, that we want to do. So it would be something like, all right, I get up, I go on a walk, I walk the dog, I have a cup of coffee, I meditate, you have something, some ritualized thing you're doing, and then you sit down to the work you want to do. And then when you've done a little bit of that, then okay, check your phone. You'll notice a major difference. And most people, and I can ask you specifically if that's a habit of yours, but I'm saying it generally because I think it can help a lot of people. It can make a massive difference in how you feel in that morning and your motivation. If you don't get the morning, you're not going to win your afternoon. Your afternoon's just going to be a continuation of how your morning sort of went. And sometimes you can have a great morning and then have kind of a less productive afternoon because you're tired or whatever. But the morning is really going to be where you accomplish any intention that you had. So that's one thought. I mean, guys, do you have ideas about you do in ritualizing so that you're showered and in your chair at a certain time, or do you have anything like that?
I'll bet Brian does. He kills me in this department. You kill me in this.
I don't know if I kill, but I mean, I basically, I have a very specific Well, I mean, a fairly specific schedule. Get up 5:30, do the Bowflex, go upstairs, shower, eat breakfast in my chair by 7 a.m. But the thing that helps me a lot is when I look at the long list of projects that I have to do, whether it's podcasting stuff for myself or for clients. If it feels overwhelming, you've got to slice it down. You've got to say, instead of looking at it as like, oh, I need to do ad campaign for Serta mattress or whatever. Don't think of it as the whole project. Look at it as, all right, well, you know what? I'm just going to focus on this one part first, where I look at their existing materials, look at their existing website, and write down some notes. That's all I'm going to do right there. And then you get the dopamine from crossing that item off your list, as opposed to looking at this big, intimidating, full project that you've got to do. And that might be the thing with you. Like, if you're looking at this podcast and saying, oh my God, this podcast idea is great, but there's so much work that needs to be done with it. Well, just look at the first part of it, coming up with a format, or coming up with the name, or recording a little bit just to see how your mixer works and understanding how that is. Just, slice it down and take one little bit of it. I know that's not what you're asking, Wendy, about the ritualization.
No,
of my
exactly
work
what
day,
I'm asking. No, that's
Okay,
perfect.
good.
That's
Good.
perfect.
Well,
And Brian, the
that's
thing about you have a ritual you do every day, and it
Yeah.
includes exercise, is really powerful, because now you're resetting your chemistry in a totally efficient way. And some people may find exercise is better for them in the evening. And it's not to say everyone is this way. However, for most of us, a good night's sleep and something in the morning that sort of grounds us and optimizes our abilities is going to go really far. The problem is we hijack it constantly and not even know it. Like, we don't recognize that scrolling through Twitter for a 30-minute mind meld actually deletes some of the energy and effort you can give the rest of the day. You can always see Twitter later. It's just you need to delay it. It can't be the start of your brain. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's really hard to thumb through my Facebook posts and Twitter posts while I'm doing Bowflex. So difficult.
Yeah, it is. It can be. I watch TV on the or I watched a movie on or half a movie on the treadmill today, and that's a good way to sort of distract yourself. But this phone thing Wendy's talking about has actually been a problem for me. I've had to do this very thing, because what I do is, as soon as I wake up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to make sure everything's caught up. I get the phone. I'm checking email. I'm checking DMs in my tweets. I'm checking all the ways I get stuff. And by the time I'm now out of bed, I'm stressed out. It's like, all the things I've done, they're already filling my head. So I started doing this thing. I didn't have a specific time in mind, but I started doing this thing where I don't look at the phone unless it's Brian or something. I'll get like a text message because it has to do with the show or something, and then I know, well, I got to
probably make a different noise when I text you. Like
you do. It's a fart sound.
Dun, 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 dun,
No,
dun, dun, dun.
Wendy assumes it's a nerd thing. That's funny. You're
Right.
Wendy's got her stereotypes, but for Brian, I'll tell you what it does. You want to hear it? Hold on.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
I actually have it
something
right
I've said.
Right here. This right here.
Tap, 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 tap.
That's it, right there. Which I like, because it's like you're tapping me to get my attention. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And really quick about this idea that you're referring to is that you have to use some discipline, and eventually it gets really easy. Like, eventually, I would assume, Brian, there are mornings you don't want to be up at 5:30, but for the most part, like, you have a rhythm. So you've taken decision out of the equation. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, exactly.
But there really is, like, and this isn't just checking social media. I'm talking checking email is a massive deterrent to productivity, because what it does is it'll give you stress response, and then you can't get back to sort of a grounded, centered place, because we have an illusion that time is wasting. We have to do this thing, when really you're going to be so much more productive if you don't do that. So maybe it's make a list of all the projects you're interested in, like Brian was saying, and slice them very thin, and then create some kind of morning ritual that works. And you're going to have to navigate that. It's going to change maybe for what really works for you or not. And then just start taking tiny bites.
That's right. You can't eat a pepperoni stick in one mouthful. You've got to slice it into smaller pieces.
No, just ask that lady at the thing. She knows. She knows what's
well,
up.
also, like a shower and being dressed before your butt is in a seat is also a very helpful thing. it's the illusion that you're a professional, right? And yeah, it totally works. It's psychologically and physically in every way, right? Another one I've had people do is put like bright orange duct tape on the floor by the door that leads to wherever it is they plan to be productive, as if they just commuted and now they're walking into their office. So to treat your 8 to 5 like it is your job can be really powerful, because then when you start working again, it's not a hard transition back, but also you're practicing the discipline that you're going to feel better and feel more productive.
Doing the old Les Nessman is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I didn't shower after my treadmill this morning, so I feel a little bad given this exact example you just used.
Do you feel bad because of us or before?
Well, it's a good clean sweat, you know? Like I'm not all grimy and disgusting, and I don't really smell. I'm just sort of, like a healthy, drinking a lot of water kind of guy, kind of sweat. And that's good, because now if I sit in this too long, that's trouble. But after the show today, I'm just gonna hop right in the shower and everything will be fine. So I don't feel too bad about my decision today. But yeah, like I feel like that morning ritual thing is kind of make or break for me. And if I don't do it right, and I know when I'm not, I'm accountable only to me. And it's almost worse than if I had some man to be mad at, he's always making me be here earlier. But like if there's somebody I could blame for that, like an old work-a-day 9 to 5 guy I could blame, great. But I can't. It's me. It's all me. So the disappointment can be very real. And the feeling of like, I didn't do the thing I meant to do because I put it off, or I procrastinated because of this reason, or I got too wound up in this other stupid internet drama and didn't focus on what needed to be done. Whatever those things are, it's just me I'm mad at. And that's worse, I think. It feels worse, because then you're...
Well, and maybe, Scott, you can speak to this, but there's the voice in your head does not say, wow, you sure wasted some time today, but tomorrow you'll get them, kid. It's like, what is wrong with you? You idiot. You knew you're supposed to... I mean, it's not a nice voice typically. Yeah. And so it actually makes it even more difficult the next day to do the thing. So it's sort of like, be really careful about, like, this should be an adjustment to get back to a schedule, right? Especially after a year, that's a significant amount of time. But you're recreating it. So be patient with yourself as you do it, but be careful not to beat yourself up for your lack of accomplishment. I think that's a common thing that people do. And then there's this sort of weird side effect. Tell me if you guys have this at all, where you sort of scroll through what we call productivity porn, where you're like, okay, now I will use this app and it will fix all my problems. Or for me, it's just going to Staples. I'm like, I want all of this to fix my life,
Yeah, for a while it was like going to Barnes & Noble. Oh, here are the books I need that'll really, help me figure myself out, and picking up the How to Be a More 7 Habits of More Effective People and the Dale Carnegie method and all this stuff.
Right, totally. And I think you can, there's another thing people commonly do, and it's to tell a friend what you're going to do. Like, oh, I'm going to work on my awesome podcast. And they're like, okay, cool. And you get all sorts of dopamine, like, yeah. And then you have actually less to work with. But there is something to be said for having accountability. So if you could have that conversation with a friend, like, hey, I'm working on this project and I need you to help me accomplish it a little bit. Yeah. And so I had a friend that we did this for each other. Like, we would go on a walk with our kids and strollers, and we'd have some project we were hoping to accomplish, and we would talk it through together. And then the deadline was the next time we walked on Monday, you had to have it done. And so we would cram. Sometimes cramming, gets it done. So you have a friend that holds you accountable. That would be a valuable social connection to make with someone. Just be careful you're not accidentally bragging about something that you run out of steam to do,
Yeah. Well, and I think that's one. I mean, they've all been fantastic points, but that's one that's resonated quite a lot with me, is how you say you want to make sure you're using your reward system for the right thing, so that you don't run out of your reward system when you actually need to achieve something. So, stay away from the Twitter, stop wandering around the house and then wandering back to the iPad every 10 minutes to look at Twitter. And
yeah, it can happen. You can get into these loops and not even know you're doing them. And then when you realize you're doing them, it's sort of embarrassing kind of, or it's kind of like you don't.
Yeah.
And you're hard on you just get really hard on yourself. So yeah, one of the problems I have is almost the opposite of yours, but almost kind of the same result, which is I've got too much to do. now. I've said to myself, you since 2009, you work for yourself now. You fill your schedule with whatever you like. You've got the world's your oyster. There's no limits. And what I did is put too much oysters, too much in my life. Now I can't manage it all, or I can, but it's hard. I have to cut stuff out, or I have to push something off, or there are times where it's just like burnouts. Like, oh my gosh, I don't want to look at a microphone. I don't want to look at a drawing tablet. I don't want to do anything like that. And it's hard for me to find those times where I can just escape it. So you can go too far the other way and end up in the same boat. Weird.
Well, and it's funny because that couples up really well with what Brian was saying, because that's another thing that really resonated with me is how he says, slice it down, because there's a lot, like I say, a lot of these things. I live really close to an MMA gym. I'd like to go, roll jujitsu. And it starts to become almost overwhelming, and you get into a state of shock almost of, what do I do? Where do I start? Do I start this? Do I go there? And like Brian says, just start it. And it's almost, I understand what you're saying, Scott, you're on the other end, but by giving yourself such a full plate, it's almost like it seems like that's motivation to keep going, to stay busy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Well, I hope this helps, man. I hope you can find some of that equilibrium you're looking for, and I hope things start to turn around in that part of Canada, because we don't like to hear about Canada having trouble. That sucks. I don't like that.
Exactly. Canada's our rock, man. We look to Canada to say that's how
you
things
won't
should be.
You won't hear about it much in the news, but Alberta's real grumpy with the rest of Canada right now. It's all about oils and pipelines and stuff like that. So, hey, if you guys will have us, maybe. I mean, it doesn't even matter who the president is. I don't care. If you guys will take us, maybe we'll do better.
All right, we'll see what we can do about that. It's good to hear from you, man. Have a fantastic Christmas holiday.
Yeah, thanks you guys as well. Merry Christmas. I appreciate everything you guys have been a big part of what's helped keep me smiling and happy through all of this. I mean, besides my family and my friends.
Yeah, of course. Sure.
You guys are an important part of my daily ritual to keep things smiling.
We'll take third to fifth place in your life. It's fine.
Exactly.
Not
happy
a problem.
Holidays to you.
Yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Merry all those things. Go make a dreidel. All right, Wendy, fantastic stuff. It's always great. Yeah. Good to chat. Now, here's the deal. Even though it's holiday season, these Thursdays before the holidays, including next Thursday before New Year's, we'll also have Wendy here. And I wondered if we may talk about this off air, but it might be fun next week to do some sort of, I don't know, year-end thing. I always am tempted to do something, and I don't know what to do in your case because I don't know where we'd go. But if you have any ideas on that, that could be fun.
The best problems we solved in 2018.
Or it could be like the most important things to have in mind as we enter the new year or something. 5
tips to get you to start your 2019 in a positive direction.
Yeah, something like that.
Right.
Yeah,
sure. How about we do this? How about we have the group decide for us? Someone in the chat room orchestrate, tell us what to do. We'll do it.
Okay, cool. I'm fine with that. Let's make the people do it.
Just give me a little warning so I can think about it. But I'd love to. I don't know. We could do the top 10. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
See, that's why I need them to do it. What do you call that?
We just know it's going to be a list. That's all we know. That's all
going to be a listicle. We love our listicles.
You just can't visualize it. It's your
what is a
anaphasia
group where you get the group to do it? What do you call that?
Oh,
hive mind.
Hive mind.
No.
Yeah.
No, the wisdom of
Mob
crowds.
rules.
Mob rules. Outsourcing your stuff to the people.
Nice. It really rolls off the tongue. Let's get those posters made.
That's right.
That's
Outsourcing
fantastic.
your stuff to the people.com.
You should also be getting
right
you should be getting a big fat box from us in the next day or two, hopefully before
Christmas. Where is it?
That's
all we've been thinking about.
I know it's on its way. It's shipped on time, but I don't know. Stuff's how it is right now. It's weird.
I mean, why would they have any troubles? I can't imagine why.
Gosh, I just don't know. Could be snow. Could be lots of things. But we'll see. It's Wendy Dunford, and Wendy Dunford on Twitter, or excuse me, on Instagram is a great place to go kind of follow her exploits. And we wish you and yours the merriest of Christmases, Wendy.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you guys, and Happy Thanksgiving, and Happy Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa, and Happy New Year's, and what else?
Did you get
Hanukkah?
You got
all the
Hanukkah
holidays.
in there. What else? You got your Festivus for the rest of us. There you go.
Yes,
Nailed it.
right there you go. Right.
Bye.
I'm going to buy you an E for your middle name.
Oh, that's a great idea. Wendy E. Johnson. E. Johnson. I have 2 E's in my family. Oh, actually, you know what? Okay, I was meant to say this. My mom's real name is Donna Wilson, her maiden name.
Sure.
Isn't that the name of some famous singer lady? Donna Wilson, or am I thinking of somebody else?
I can't think of a Donna Wilson. I mean, Donna Reed and...
Ann Wilson?
Ann Wilson, sure. Half
Okay.
of Heart.
I think that's what I've done.
Ann and Nancy Wilson. Maybe she's the lost Heart sister.
Yeah, she's...
have her sing Barracuda and see if...
How can I did you learn? Do that one instead. You know, when they were weird in the 80s. Like,
yeah, when that shark...
How high can you
know what?
jump?
Ann Wilson jumped back over the shark, in my opinion. She's put out some amazing solo albums lately.
Do you feel like no one notices, though, because you kind of burned your cheese, you know? Like you kind of...
Because of that, all I want to do is make love to you.
Oh, Lord.
The hotel room song where she finds some random stranger and makes a baby with him.
Yeah.
And never talks to him again.
It's very odd. It's very strange. Which one's Anne? She the redhead or the brunette?
The brunette is Anne. Nancy is the one that was married to Cameron Crowe and was the blonde that made Judge Reinhold throw out his pirate hat in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Got it. All right, now it's all come clear to me. We are done for today. And before this holiday hits, that's it.
That's right.
It's the day before Christmas or whatever it is. I wish we had one more just like nothing but Christmas crap episode. I feel this way every year, but I never go through the rigmarole of planning anything that's like worth doing. But you know,
like a
holiday
clip
special
show, or we just do
like a holiday
special,
just like in the background you're playing nothing but here like this.
Sleigh bell songs.
Not that song. This is not the one I want. But it's like this. Yeah. Here we go. I'll put this in the background as we discuss this. This is old Kmart music playing in the background of the store. And we could just sit around talking about,
there's Blue Light Special on aisle 15.
Yeah. And people could call in. We do giveaways.
Underwear.
They'd be like, hey, thanks, caller. You win a pair of socks. Well done.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
And
maybe we do a post-Christmas thing like that.
You could, yeah. Or maybe it's a New Year's party. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll think of something,
there you
guys.
Go.
Because I'm very interested in such things. Anyway, that's going to do it for the show. Big thanks for you all being here. If you want to make Christmas function for us, head on over to patreon.com/TMS. That's how you'll do it. That's patreon.com/TMS. Of course, frogpants.com/TMS has everything you're going to need outside of that, plus more. So go check that out. And as always, find us on Twitter. Morning stream for the show. Scott Johnson for me and Coverville for Brian.
That's right. You know what? Let's do this TMS PM 1 week from tomorrow. It'll be our last show of 2018.
Yeah.
And we'll do something fun like that.
Yeah,
like
a little New Year's party.
Yeah, exactly. It's a New Year's party with the tadpole.
Okay.
I love it.
I'm in on this idea. This is a great idea.
Yes.
So come on back next week for that. And of course, let's see, new show Wednesday. So come back Wednesday, brand new show. Thursday we'll have a show. Friday we'll have a show. All that good stuff. Okay.
I'm going to stream something tomorrow, by the way, on the Coverville stream. It's not going to be Christmas related at all. I think for thanks to Darth Marquis, I think I'm doing just a spur of the moment Rolling Stones cover show because Keith Richards just turned 75.
Oh yeah, he finally said he's going to stop drinking. Did you see that?
Yeah, he doesn't look a day over 100.
No, he looks.
He doesn't look a day over zombie.
Exactly. Anyway, so stay tuned for all of that. Of course, we're always around if you want to ding us on other stuff, so find us. And have a fantastic Christmas, everybody.
Yes, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Indeed.
And all those things.
All those things and more. Brian, will you now play us a song as we leave? They've been, traditionally the last few days, they've been Christmassy, so is today the same?
We're continuing that trend, Scott. Joshua Meekins wrote in and said, hey, Brian and Scott, my birthday is December 21st. It's tomorrow, man. Happy birthday. And would like to make a song request. I've been listening for the past 2.5 years, and when I want to binge more shows, I listen back through the TMS archives. Currently, I'm on episode 290, only 700 more until I'm caught up with all the episodes I missed.
Jeez.
It's fun listening back to your future predictions that are now happening or those that are not so much happening. Since my birthday is so close to Christmas, a Pentatonix Christmas song seems like the best request, unless Brian has a better idea. Thanks, Joshua from Virginia.
Nice.
Well, Joshua, hope you're staying warm up there in Virginia. Love that state. Really do.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Virginia.
From that visit. Not at all. All right, so Pentatonics Christmas. I don't have a better idea than that. Pentatonics is great. And in addition to a lot of great a cappella vocal tracks they've also done a couple instrumental pieces. And still using their voice, of course, because that's what a cappella is all about. This is one of my favorites. Came out on their album That's Christmas to Me from 2014. Here's Pentatonics and The Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy.
Nice. Have a great Christmas, everybody. We'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. Oh, I don't have a thing to play. Hold on. Just a minute.
I'm talking.
I find it. How about this one?
Gee, that's a great aircraft.